your partner is tired of hearing about your clients. If somebody says, bless your heart, watch out. I'm like, I think this whole internet thing might stick around, you know? And I thought maybe I'll design websites. I would just buy a theme and customize it for whatever client. But nobody wanted care plans because it was a hassle. I was like, I love them. What if we started a business to do this for other businesses? Because everybody hates it.
Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Fueled by Progress, hosted by me, Mark Szymanski, the show where I like to introduce you to and have good, candid conversations with people in my life that I've followed for some time. I've had some sort of a relationship with where they've impacted me in some sort of way. And I just like to share that with you, their journey, the things that they've taught me, the reasons that I respect them, admire them, etc. And in today's episode, we are sitting down and chatting with Stephanie Hudson. And just to give you the quick background on Stephanie, because we talk about it kind of like in the beginning of this episode here, we go down the whole lineage of how like we're tied together via Pittsburgh kind of like nativeness, and then also like all the other things that we've been through, like with the WordPress ecosystem. The initial way that I think we kind of got connected was via Stephanie's group. She has a group on Facebook called Focus on Your Biz. She has a business called FocusWP. And there was a group that I was introduced to, and it's like a weekly Zoom meeting. And if you're in deep in the Facebook or the WordPress community, you should definitely go check it out. They meet every week, and that was one of my first indoctrinations into the WordPress ecosystem very early on, a couple years ago when I was just getting into the community space. A lot of really good people that meet weekly there. A lot of really good insights and knowledge from people that have been in WordPress much longer than I have seen it evolve, have seen it go through all these different times. And yeah, that's just one of the big things that, since then, obviously, Stephanie and I have had, we've been in multiple different groups. We've seen each other out in Portland for WordCamp US, but Stephanie is a great member of the WordPress community. I'm super happy to have her in my network, and it was a great conversation. So hope you guys enjoy this one. You're going to learn a lot. Links and everything down in the description. Don't forget to check those out. Without further ado, Stephanie Hudson. Stephanie Hudson, how are we doing? Thank you for being here.
Szymanski. Why do I feel like you're my little brother? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, I kind of probably do give that vibe a little bit in the WordPress industry because I feel like I'm on the younger side. I keep saying that, but I'm about to turn 30, so I feel like I'm getting a little older now.
It's not really an age thing. Like, I'm a big sister is more what it is. And I have two brothers. Like, I grew up with brothers. They're both younger than me. So that's why. And one is only a year and a half younger. So you could be even older than this and still be my little brother. But basically, I don't know what first of all, we grew up in the same place.
That is true. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I just feel like you're like, I don't know, you just remind me of my brothers. We grew up in Pittsburgh. You got the accent and the vibe, and they all play hockey all the time and golf, and you do both of those things. And so, I don't know. I have and something about your sense of humor or something, I just feel like it just, like if you showed up at like our family dinner or something, you'd fit right in. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Like, I don't even know how you take that, but I mean it in a good way.
I mean, that's one of the things, again, we'll talk about a lot of things here probably, but like the WordPress community and everything, I just feel like I had never been in a community like that before. I'd never been in a professional environment, like I've been in Pittsburgh. So like to blend these two topics, right? I've been in Pittsburgh my whole life. I went to, high school here, obviously. I went to college at Pitt. I commuted back and forth like 15 minutes just to like the University of Pittsburgh. So I never really left. And then I had my first job was just in the area, and I never, went anywhere. It was like I had an internship in college, and then it turned into like a full-time gig at a Remax franchise. So it was like a real estate agency, and it was one of the bigger ones in the area, like the franchise is. And I learned a lot there about like technology and marketing, because I was like in that, they had like a small marketing department that I was like the head of at one point. And so that's where it all started. That's where I learned about WordPress too, from the guys that I was working with.
Nice.
So it's kind of a whole thing there.
So what high school did you go to?
I went to Bishop Canevin High School. I would have went to Carlington, but it's in like, which area were you in Pittsburgh?
South Hills. I went to Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, okay. So I was in Crafton,
TJ,
like
TJ Jaguars.
Crafton. Nice.
The best thing about TJ because I don't have a lot of like awesome high school memories, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's not like time of my life, but
Yeah.
our colors were black and gold.
That's pretty cool.
Like Red Street Baldwin, purple. Like, what are you going to do? Purple? You're in Pittsburgh. Like, it was so elite to have even the high school. Because if y'all don't know, Pittsburgh takes their sports very seriously.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they do.
everything is black and gold. All the teams.
Yeah.
Pirates,
See, people
Penguins,
just wearing
Steelers.
it all the time. Yeah.
Yes, and people love wearing a jersey. I do not condone that.
Yeah, I don't do that either that much, but it's a big thing. It's a big thing here. It's like a smaller big city with a lot of sports fans and I mean good people. It's just like if you go down in the middle of the city, it's not as big as like a Philly or like obviously not in New York or anything. It's just, but it's still got that weird
city though. It's like an urban city. It's like you go downtown and it's dirty. That's what I want. You know what I mean? Like Charlotte's all pretty and clean. There's like statues and stuff. No, I want it to be gritty. Yeah, I want to feel the like. I got to really watch myself here. I got to watch my back. Yeah,
it's very gritty. When did you leave Pittsburgh?
Oh, a while ago, 98.
Okay, but you grew up there. Like you grew up here. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I grew up in the Burgh, and then I've lived my whole family. Like my parents, I was still at home. My parents and my brothers and I, we all moved down to South Carolina. My parents stayed there for 20 years, but I moved around a good bit. I was out on my own there, and then I moved to LA for a while, then back, and then I moved to Atlanta for a while, and then back, and then moved to North Carolina. So far, we'll see what the next jump is. I might go to Nashville.
Yeah, I hear Nashville's nice.
It's really fun. Yeah. But anyway, those roots from where you come from, it's a thing, right?
It definitely has it definitely has an impact on you. I mean, again, I've been here for so long that if I think about like, oh, maybe I should move to like, somewhere south, like just because I hate the winter that we're moving slowly into. But you think about it and you're like, well, your family's here. You already have like, like my wife's family's here. It's like, it's just you have to have
you guys, if you want to have kids and all that, like you're not going to want to be super far from your family. Exactly, that being said, I do think it's good to go somewhere else for a while. I think it's good to leave where you're from. Every single place that I went, I feel like it opened my mind. Maybe it opened my eyes too. Like I didn't realize things were certain ways or how they would feel. And, it just changes you. It gives you a whole new perspective on life. Like, I don't know, everything. Even like when I moved to LA, everybody was like not super supportive. I wasn't like chasing a Hollywood dream or anything. My best friend, who was my roommate, got a job transfer. And she's like, do you want to come? And I'm like, yeah. So we just threw all my stuff in the truck with hers. Like I basically got a free move to California. And so everybody was like, you're moving to LA? Oh, you're going to die in an earthquake. Or you're going to get shot in a drive-by shooting. Or there was the third one. There was like three things that they would always say. And I'm like, well, thanks. Want to come visit? Like it was horrible. And I went there and I'm telling you, and they're like, everybody's fake and blah, blah, blah. Yes, there is a whole element of that. But I made friends that I'm still friends with 20 years later. Like it was an awesome thing. And it's super cool to see that. It's weird to like interact with people that are like ridiculously wealthy and don't even flaunt it. Like they're still wearing like, I knew this lady, her husband like worked in the biz, and she was like 91 years old, still mowed her own lawn. Wow. Loaded. Like it was in its state. She's mowing her lawn at 91. Like it's unbelievable. But anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about all that. But it's just interesting. Like something about where you come from does impact you. Like anything up in the Northeast, I love it. Like they just tell you like it is. I don't like the fake in the South. They're so sweet. And it's like, bless your heart. If somebody says bless your heart, watch out. Watch out. Because it's not going to be nice.
Watch out for that. That's southern sweetness. Yeah.
Like our sweet tea.
Yeah. It's definitely something though. I mean, I feel like, regardless, I mean, and again, I feel like part of our connection obviously is Pittsburgh, but the other big part is like, kind of WordPress and to kind of like even extrapolate on that, the people that I have been able to connect with now, because as I was saying earlier, like I never really had like a professional network in any stretch, like maybe a little bit here in Pittsburgh, but I didn't really have a common thread. I was starting to build that. And then I started just making some WordPress videos and like, meeting people in the space, because this is a concept I talk about a lot in other content, but you could be like using WordPress or using any tool, but specifically, the common one here, WordPress, and you could be using it, but you can also just be a user of the product or the project and not know anything about the community. But as soon as you dive into like community or dive into other people that are using it and like start to meet that, it's a whole other thing. It's like a whole other, it's not really like another job, but it's like a whole other life that you would have to lead, because like the one part is just using it. And then the other part is like understanding the intricacies of how everything like works kind of behind the scenes, or how other people are utilizing it, or this, this whole ecosystem of plugins and owners and developers
and the
and things.
politics and the relationships and the ones that have the money and the ones that are just scraping, like all of, there's so much to it.
It's wild. Yeah. And like, and then you start to realize that there's some people that are like there's like a whole gamut of like people that are just starting out, like freelancers, people that are like chronic freelancers. They're just like that forever. I mean, if it works for them, great. But like, they're just always in the freelancer stage. There's some people that are trying to get to the agency stage. Some people are playing around there. And then you realize that there's some agencies that are doing millions and millions of dollars a year. Like it's a whole thing that you really don't understand when you're just like somebody like me that just like found Elementor back in the day and just started like making a personal website. And then once you dive into it, it is really interesting. And this coalesces with what we were just talking about, where this is like an international, all around the world thing. It's not just the United States. So then you combine all of that with people in Asia, Europe, Africa, like wherever. And like that, now it's not just that they're using this tool that's free and open source and everything, and we have this different gamut of where everybody's at, but also now it's like it's different parts of the world, like from Pittsburgh to North Carolina, even to LA. It's not that different, like the vibe or the what you could charge for websites or just charge for plugins or whatever. But like across the world now, it's like I see that all the time too. It's like that is eye opening, and even it's something to really start to understand that I had no experience with before.
I tell you, I had similar epiphanies, or I don't know if that's the right word, but like realizations. Yep. And it doesn't stop. Like there's more that you still haven't seen is the other cool thing. Like I started, I would go to the conferences, right? So you go to WordCamps, and that's where you start to, so there's like, to me, there's like the client serving side of things. People who are serving clients and they're all trying to do their thing. That's sort of what you're talking about, right? Like wherever they live, they're all using the same tool to serve their clients. Then you go into like the real, like you get a little bit deeper in, and it's like this whole ecosystem of all of the people that are serving those people, right? Like all the plugin creators, the themes, the hosting companies. Holy cow, that's a whole nother level right there too, of like money and revenue and politics and power and all this kind of stuff. It's just wild. It's really, really fascinating to me. I like watch it from afar. I'm not really, I'm not a big mover and shaker, but you know what is really fun is, Andrew Palmer, right?
I do.
Yeah. I follow him around. I follow him around at a conference. Yeah. The dude knows literally everybody. Like I went to WordCamp 2 years ago, the big one, the real fun one. And that's where I met you in person, right?
I maybe last year. Were you in Portland last year or no?
Yeah, not this one.
Not this one.
The summer before.
Yeah.
I think that's where I met you. And because I remember you were in like basketball shorts, and we were going to like a dinner, and I'm like, "Do you need to go change?" And you're like, "No, why?"
I wear athletic attire. I like to be comfortable.
I'm like, okay, cool. Like I was like, oh shoot, I wasn't meaning to. I wasn't even making fun of you. I was just like, oh, you need to change.
That's what I do.
Because the Uber's here. You better hurry. You're like, good. Anyway, so yeah, you follow Andrew Palmer around, knows freaking everybody, and knows like all the connections and stuff too. It's really fun. But anyway, so we're both in WordPress, and we met online first, right?
That is true. Yeah.
Am I interviewing you or are you interviewing me? I forget.
It's a dual thing, you know, it's back
combo.
and forth. It's a back and forth thing. Yeah, I think so. I'm actually, this is like kind of like one of the things that, you know, this podcast, this platform, these types of conversations, like I really like doing, because there's so many people that, you know, I have met, haven't met, like, and I want to have these conversations, and I want to kind of almost like, it's an opportunity to like remember kind of like how these relationships, these connections were formed. And I think like with us specifically, I think we're gonna do some memory digging here. I think I mean, you have FocusWP, which is the business, and you also have like the Focus on Your Biz like group on Facebook, which all the links and everything will be down in the description, guys. If you're new to WordPress, or even if you're not, or you haven't heard any of this stuff, like you should go check it out, because we were talking a little bit off camera. The Facebook group that you have been adminning for how long?
4 or 5 years now. 4 years maybe.
I mean, I think that like when I was just getting into it, to kind of rack my brain a little bit, when I was just getting into the WordPress scene, I remember Matt Medeiros was one of the first people that like I kind of met that were like in the WordPress community. And then like I found the admin bar, I found Focus on Your Biz, and you're still doing weekly calls, like weekly Zoom calls, right?
Every Thursday. Yep. 5 p.m. Eastern.
If you want, fun. Hell yeah. I've seen you guys. I haven't been a part of the too many recent ones, but what's the record now? Like 8 hours or something?
They stayed on for like 8.5 hours one night. Like, and there is a chick who comes on. She's in Germany, which is a 6-hour. She takes a nap on Thursdays so that she can come at 11 p.m. And then she has stayed until the morning, the sun come up. Like they just. So we have like a good. It's always a great chat about business stuff or work things or industry things. We have a lot of inside jokes, and a lot of people come and talk about like their hobbies and stuff too, right? Like it's not, it's just very loose. It's just good. The things I like to say about it are like, because your partner is tired of hearing about your clients. You know what I mean? Your dog doesn't want to hear it anymore. You know, you got to have somebody that like gets it. You know, like when you say like, they asked me to make the logo bigger. Again, and like everybody's like, I don't care, and we are all like, oh, pal, I feel for you. We're sending flowers, you know. It's just good to have people that like get it. But then it gets into like what my pal Michael Lofton calls the after hours, and that's when they start to get deep, and they talk about a lot of other off the wall things, and I don't know, they get philosophical and everything, but it's super casual too. Like if you can't come at 5, like just pop in whenever. Yeah. And 5 o'clock p.m. is a magic time. It's the universal time for me. It's global because it's like, it's as global as I can get anyway. Because it's like, depending on time zone, time change and daylight savings, it's like either 7 or 8 a.m. in Australia. And it's like 10 or 11 p.m. in Europe. And so people are awake generally. If you move it an hour later, you lose the Europe. If you move it an hour earlier, you lose a whole nother continent, you know? So anyway, it started because of Divi Chat. I don't know if you ever heard of that podcast. It was very successful. It was went for over 7 years. I was on it for 5. And it was at that same time, and that's why. And we were doing an episode on Facebook groups and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I've been wanting to do one, whatever. And somebody was like, so go ahead. And I'm like, you mean right now? And they're like, yeah. So I literally started that Facebook group live on a podcast. I'm like, okay, I'll put in this information. What should I name it? You know, it was like, just, that's it. It came right there. And then whoever was listening live just went and joined. And then other people would trickle in, and then it's grown. We're like admin bar, like baby tab. Like it's a similar vibe, but it's smaller. And I love admin bar too, by the way. I'm in there as well. It's awesome. But it's huge. It's like 13,000 people. Yeah. Which changes the whole vibe of a group.
Definitely.
You know? So, but anyway, it's cool. I love our little group.
I didn't realize that I blanked on that, and I didn't realize that I skipped a whole era of that with Divi Chat, and your trajectory. Let's zoom out for a second. When did you first get into like WordPress? Like, give me the trajectory of when you got into WordPress. Then like, there's the Divi Chat era, there's the FocusWP area, Focus on Your Biz, everything there. Let's go back for a second so we can paint that picture.
Can we get like a cool rewind graphic? Let's see. Where do I begin? How do I tell this quickly, which is not my strength?
We got time.
I moved down south. It kind of like I started college up north. I wanted to be a teacher, I thought. No, that didn't last long. So I wanted to be an artist. So I thought I want to be a paid artist. And this is going to show my age here. I started going for commercial art, which is what they used to call graphic design.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know why we switched, because I personally think that's a much better name. Commercial art, right? And I thought maybe I'll design websites. It was the 90s. Like the web was young. Like it is so wild to me to think how much has changed in my little career, span. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to design web pages, I'm like, I think this whole internet thing might stick around, So I was like, I want to know how they work. So I took one HTML class, and everyone did a little like the very basics of the code, like head, body, blah blah blah, and it said "Hello World," and it went through the internet magically and appeared up on the screen in front of the class. We all were doing it, right? And when mine went up, I was like, this is awesome. Like I freaked out. Like how can these little code bits and, carrot, left, right, arrow, carrots and all that, like how does that happen? So anyway, that was it for me. I was in web heaven. So I was like Dreamweaver, building sites in Notepad. Like it sounds bonkers to me right now. Like over dial-up internet, by the way, also to just add into the granny effect. Like you had to, everything had to be so small because it was dial-up internet. It was a nightmare. You couldn't have anything. And we did layouts were all done in tables. Like people just started hacking tables to make their websites like a grid, basically, So anyway, so I came through all of that. And then I got a full-time job as a web developer at the College of Engineering at Georgia Tech, which is a long string of words. And I was rebuilding that website. And it was very interesting working in academia. It was a really wild place. It was cool. I liked it. But I don't want a full-time job. So that part was a problem. But anyway, I used Drupal for that. And then I really, honestly, it drives me nuts that I cannot remember what the trigger was, like what made me start looking into WordPress. And it was after I left Georgia Tech and I went, I have a dark spot there. I don't know why. I don't remember the details. But anyway, it was right around then, which I think was like 2013 or something like that, that I started getting into WordPress. And I was like going to build client sites, right? And so I would I'm not a great designer, even though I always wanted to be an artist, right? So I would just buy a theme and customize it for whatever client. And it was so annoying. It would take me forever because they're all built differently. And I would have to go and learn like how the structure worked. And, I'm not really a coder. I'm not really a designer. I'm one of those, I'm a web builder. I don't know. I wish there was a term for it. There really isn't.
Yeah.
It's still a sort of a thing that doesn't have a name. And there's a lot of us out there. Like I can build an awesome website and I get the marketing concepts and I can do all this stuff, but I can't write PHP. Yeah. Can't really design worth crap. Anyway, so I found elegant themes because I was like, this is too much. It's wasting my time. I need to streamline. So elegant themes had a whole bunch of themes and it was all the same structure. So I just bought into them like a subscription or whatever, and you could use any of the themes. And I built, I think one or two sites with their themes. And then they launched Divi 1. And that was blew my mind. It was revolutionary. Yeah. Divi now, I mean, they have a good place in my heart, but oh my God, where is it? Launch the next, it's so frustrating. Oh, I just get so frustrated. And it's I don't build a ton of sites myself anymore. In fact, I really build none. I'm moving into this phase of every time I touch our site, I break something. Because I'm like, oh, let's try this. And I'm not in there enough to know what everybody else is doing. Anyway, so Divi came out and it was revolutionary. There was another page builder, WP Bakery had some visual builder for a long time, but that's almost always been trash. And it was a cool idea, but they're huge. I don't even, because they were smart business wise. They got people to bake it into their themes. And so then you'd go and try and update your theme and it wouldn't work because visual, whatever. Anyway, so they had a revenue stream that way, and that's how they got spread so far. But Divi was like, it was life-changing to be able to build visually and just move things around. Now we take it for granted. It's almost like we're using builders, not WordPress. Do you know what I mean? Like, like you use Elementor, you use or Divi or whatever it is, So anyway, I found a community there as well. Once I went like a year or two later, I went to a meetup, a coffee meetup, and I was like, this is cool. It was at like a WordCamp, I think. And I met this guy who was there who was by himself. A lot of other people knew each other already. And I went up to him and I said, would you like to be my conference buddy? And he looks at me and he's like, sorry, what? and because I'm not shy, obviously. But here's a weird phenomenon, okay? Tell me if you've experienced this. You're not shy either, right? Or are you? I don't know.
I mean,
you're not shy when you're staring at a camera, just by yourself. But like to approach 100%. A group is different. Yeah. So I don't know.
Babe, it probably depends on the group. But I've definitely, I feel what you're saying. Yeah.
So you're not like a center of attention kind of guy, but.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, it's probably changed a little bit now that I have to I feel like I'm constantly putting myself out there a little bit. But yeah, when or a good example is like when you say something on the internet and then you remember somebody in real life, like a random person's like, oh, I saw your thing. It's like, oh, that does still stun you. You know, like you know that you put it out there, but it's like, oh, I am actually putting a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that there's this like social thing. Like I would love to do somebody to study it. If like I'm not shy, so I can go up to a group and be like, hey, I'm Steph. And it's awkward. Like if it's a group 3-4 people, something like that, like you just stand there and like nobody really acknowledges you. Yeah. Even though like they're not like kicking you out either. It's not like they're sitting at a table and you pull up a chair. I'm talking about like just in the hallways at a conference. Yeah. If you have somebody with you and you walk up to that group and you're like, hey, I'm Steph. This is Frank. They're like, oh, hey, nice to meet. Like it, for some reason, they just absorb you into that circle. Have you experienced this? I think a lot of people haven't like thought about it.
I haven't thought about it like that, but it makes total sense because it's not like you're a random person, like whoever it is. It's not like you're a loner joining a group. It's like two groups merging almost in a way. Yes. And I feel like it's
super weird.
It's easier.
So this is like a top tip. If somebody is going to a conference, like find a buddy. And so in this guy at the time, his name's Tom, he's very introverted, which is great because I'm not. And so we're match made in heaven. So and you can also like split up. Like this is back when I thought like conferences were about going to talks to learn things. Yeah. Which they're not. So we'd go to different talks and then we'd meet up and talk about, like share notes or whatever. And we talked at the time, I was doing maintenance, a lot of maintenance, like care plans. And he hated them. This is like, it wasn't like it was, even just this is not that many years ago, right? Like, well, it's like 7 years ago. But nobody wanted care plans, which is bonkers now. It's like what everybody wants now, right? Because it was a hassle to maintain them and deal with it, right? I was like, I love them. I'm like, bring them on. I had like really worked all the numbers. I built a little machine. I figured all the steps out and I hired somebody to do it for me. And I realized it cost me like $4 a month to maintain a site. And I was charging at the time, I think, $35 or something. 7 years ago. Don't come at me. But that's a good. No, you know what? It was $75. I was charging $75 and it cost me $4. It's good margin. So he was like, tell me more. And so I explained it to him. And then after that conference, he sent me an email and he's like, don't freak out. Just read this. And it was a business plan. He said, what if we started a business to do this for other businesses? Because everybody hates it and it's profitable. And I was like, let's do it. So we started FocusWP. And it started as doing maintenance for sites. And then we would maintain sites and people would be like, hey, can you fix this for me? Or hey, do you know any copywriters or what? Like they would ask stuff because once they trust you with that, they wanted more. And I realized like, okay, there's more we can do here. So that's when we added on developers, and we would have, so they could like buy hours or subscribe at the time, and then they could just go do tasks on any site. It didn't have to be a maintenance site. People loved it. And so then they were like, what about designing a site? So anyway, now we have 6 teams. We have developers, designers, copywriters, video editors, and SEOs and admin. So now you can like request work from any of those things. It's like you have a just like a like an ad hoc team where it's just there when you need it. You just can get like 1 hour of somebody's time to do something for you instead of paying for a staff member or a whole staff. So anyway, that was the concept, and it just grew very organically from like what our customers needed, you know. And so that's where we're at. That's where we're at now. Tom has moved on to greener pastures, but I'm still here, and so it all just kind of bled in, and it was very connected to that. To your point too, like that community that I then found, and then I got connected with the Divi people, and I just inserted myself in there because I loved it. Like I was gobbling up those episodes of that podcast. It was really useful, and I got in so I could get on the show a couple times, and then they eventually made me a regular panelist, and then I sort of like a couple people left and stuff, and I started taking the lead, and I was like, I'm bored of talking about Divi. Like I want to talk about business stuff. Like how are you structuring things? How are you pricing stuff? How are you doing your proposals? And so it really shifted to the end where the last year it really wasn't like Divi focused, but which was limiting. And so we talked about doing like changing it over, this or that. Anyway, it was like eventually it was like we had a really good run. Let's end it on purpose instead of it like burning out or fizzling, you know. So so it ended, and I would like to do another show. I have a few ideas, but anyway, so I got into that community, and then that's why I started my group, and then that's like what feeds my customers, you know. So it's like to your point. And for those who are listening, if you feel like you're on an island, like there, you don't have to be. And if you're introverted, that's hard. So find an extrovert to latch on to.
That is a fantastic tip there. I think the big thing that the other motif I feel like in our industry or the broader technical industry is that we're mostly in our offices with doors shut, looking at a computer most of the time. So that's obviously a very big thing that's different than possibly years ago and in different industries. If you were like a sales guy or something, a sales guy or gal, like you'd be like out in the field, like literally, you still need a sense of community, but at least you like have human to human connection like pretty regularly. I think that the conferences, especially WordCamps,
well,
obviously,
and the proverbial water cooler at the office. Exactly.
Yeah, if you're in person, but like the cool part, there's pros and cons obviously to everything. But the cool part about us being able to work from home and build these businesses from home is that you can do that. It's great, low overhead, things like that. But also you have to like be mindful of if you're, I don't know, lack of human connection, loneliness, et cetera, whatever. And then not even just from the loneliness angle, but also from the collaboration angle. I feel like
big time.
Before I got into the community and started like trying to give back to it a little bit, but also like building like a little bit of an audience or community around anything like that, I was just like banging my head against the wall with some of the silly things I was doing in my business because I didn't have any other thing other than Google. I don't even know if I had ChatGPT. I think that was like very early if I did. Like, you don't have a sounding board for anything.
I'm sorry. I just told a story about building websites on dial-up internet with Notepad, and you're complaining. I don't think I even had ChatGPT.
Yeah, I'm spoiled.
Can you imagine?
It's a little bit of a time discrepancy there.
Poor Mark.
The first website I ever built though was in college in like 2014.
All right.
And
that's
it was and they like 2014, 2015, I remember like I was going for engineering and they had us in one of the, I don't know, seminar classes or whatever. They're like, all right, we're going to build a website. And it was in HTML, just straight up HTML, CSS. And it was with tables. Like, I mean, they might even still be in there. Like it was like a whole table layout and everything. So I got a little bit. I got a little bit of indoctrination, with that. But But I don't know why at the time. I feel like there were other options. There were definitely other options. I'm not sure why they didn't teach us some other things as well. But
it's great to know to me, I think it's awesome to know if just understanding that tiny little bit of like every single time you look at code and it's got like head, body, this, and then the title, and then the divs below it, that stuff, to get to the point where you can understand that concept, that's the underlying structure. I don't know. To me, I feel like that's empowering.
Well, that's the thing is like when you were talking about that, even though we learned at different times, like that's still, there's a lot of people now. There's a lot of people now that aren't doing that. Like they're just jumping into like a Framer or a Wix or even like an Elementor or whatever, and they don't really understand those underlying things. And it's funny, I think when we zoom out, it's funny that you or I don't classify ourselves as like developers, which, in the grand scheme of things, I don't necessarily think we are, but we know way more about code than the average. I feel like the average person like hopping into it that isn't going that direction because there's so many options. Now that's a whole
even CSS
can of worms.
like that I can handle. I mean, I still like have to like Google or ChatGPT stuff all the time, but it doesn't matter because I understand how it works.
Right.
I understand how these tools work. So I'm not just like, I'm not at the mercy of the tools, which is kind of how I feel a lot of people are when they don't know how the underlying stuff works. So I know that like what CSS is capable of and how it works. So if I wanted to do something, I just go look it up and I can figure out the exact syntax. It's like the syntax doesn't really matter. That's easy to figure. So anyway, that's always been sort of my thing. But yeah, I think there's a lot of people, and it's going to only get worse because now they're going to just use AI and they're not even going to know how to use these tools, you know, like just going to be AI built and everything. So, I mean, it's kind of neat though to have that history.
For sure. Yeah. And again, the foundational piece I think is crucial. So yeah, I guess we'll see how that part goes. That AI thing is total black hole of stuff that we don't know what's going to happen yet. A lot of speculation. I did have a question specifically as we were talking about like FocusWP. So it was obviously your trajectory was kind of like you started learning about websites, you were building at Georgia Tech, and then you moved into kind of like your own realm.
I was always freelance. I was always doing stuff on the side. I was always starting little side businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah. So then you met Tom, you were doing that, you were kind of doing that all together. It sounds like you kind of had a freelancing maintenance, maybe building some stuff for people. And then at some point you kind of like switched to, all right, now we're going to build FocusWP, and you're not going to like service clients directly. You're going to build a team that helps other agencies effectively.
Except I did both. I didn't stop one and do the other. So they both just kind of grew organically. I had a marketing company as well called Sweet Tea Marketing. I had a partner in that. He was a designer and I was the dev then. I would build the websites, he would design them. And we would fight all the time. He would get belligerent. He would drink and get belligerent. It was like a bad relationship. So he eventually left and I was so glad. And then it was not long after, so I was just doing it on my own. And then I met Tom and we started that, but I kept doing it until literally last month I sold my agency, not my agency, but my book of business. Yeah. Basically, I just sold it last month because I've been like for a while needing to be all in on Focus to grow it. Yeah. But I've been doing like, it used to be like, oh yeah, I was starting Focus and I was doing a lot of the agency, and then it just has gradually shifted to where I'm really not serving my clients very well.
Right.
I need to just
I understand that.
Hand it off so that I can. But it was a big deal though, because I mean, I have always, since the second I learned about websites, and even before that, like I would do like design projects and stuff for people, like do business cards and logos and crap like that. Terrible. But, like back in the day when I was young. But so I've always done client work. And so to say like I'm out of that business, it was like really kind of scary and exciting.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the sale.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the next steps too, because like I feel like that's the big, I don't know. I mean, there's the interesting thing that's happened to me with all of this, and I think that most people, when they have these types of conversations, they end up seeing it, even if they don't think about it. But I'm just a weirdo, and I think about this all the time. Like the philosophy and the psychology behind everything, in the sense of, at a certain point, you get into the industry of WordPress, I think most people, because like they want to build websites, or back then, like they wanted to build a website for themselves or for their business, for clients or whatever. And if you go into the route of, I want to build clients, like sites for clients, then it's like, if you were like us and you learned a little bit about HTML and CSS, and then you learned about WordPress and you found all these people, most of the conversations revolve around like the tooling or the technical side of things, because there's an overwhelming amount of people that are interested in what they can do with the tool, because that's the center of it. But then at a certain point, you're like, we should really probably be talking about the business part of it, because that's extremely important. Because if we're not building businesses, we're either employees for somebody else, or we're going to go out of business. Like if we're not focused on that, then we're gonna go out of business.
You need to focus on your biz.
It's a great name. It's a great name. You really really hit the nail on the head with that. And that's what it is. Is like I have the condensed timeline of my trajectory, just like learning WordPress was, okay, we're going to go crazy into the technical side because I want to understand how to do things and how to provide for my clients. But then very quickly, you start to realize that you really need to diversify your learning, because you can't, depending on your goals, like you can't sit in technician mode forever. And that's something that like I have struggled with like heavily, like going back and forth, and how much should I be building? How much should I be doing? Yeah. And until I learned that I need to delegate some of this shit, then I'm never going to grow. If I don't delegate, again, some like started like video editing, and then design and dev, and then, whatever else. Like, I mean, the list is endless. It just, a lot of people, my whole point in this is, by design or by happenstance, a lot of people are stuck in that technician do everything role. And I would hope that if they want to get out, then they find that, and they they're hopefully like I and you and so many other people could be like a little bit of a conduit, whether it's through a service or just through content or whatever it is, because I think that really is the big piece, to break away and not be so emotionally tied to it.
I feel so like I agree with you so much, and I see this, and it makes me feel bad for people.
Yeah. And
on top of the things that you've just stated, when you are in your own bubble, that is like it's a perfect environment for imposter syndrome to grow. Because you think like, oh, whatever anybody I see online is doing is different. Like I couldn't ever do that. Or, oh, nobody would ever pay me X number of dollars to do something. You know what I mean? Like you get caught in this bubble. You go to a so it's all kind of tied into to that community stuff, right? So you go to a group and you say like, I'm thinking about like charging this, I'm thinking about, I want to raise my rates for my websites to $2,000. And somebody like me will be like, are you out of your mind? Show me what you're doing. Okay. Yeah. That should start at 3,500. And they'd be like, what? No. And I'm like, yeah, you just say this. And they're like, okay, boom. Like that easily, like ceilings get broken open, for people that are caught. And it really is like they're stuck, and they probably don't even always know it. They're struggling. They know they're struggling, but they don't know why. And it's like and the other thing is like I think you made a really good point too. It's like I used to work with breweries at my agency. I would serve breweries, and I hated it. I decided I will never again. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was super fun.
Yeah.
The conferences were the best. The conferences started at 10 a.m. because the night everybody would be drinking. And you show up at these conferences and your little like swag bag included a cup. And you would just walk around and get beer at all the different things and drink beer all day. And then everybody would go out and drink beer at night. And so then nobody could get up for like an 8 a.m. start. So they all started at 10. Like it was so fun. I loved it. But I will never, ever again serve an industry or a niche that is based on a hobby. Because these are people who are like, I make good beer in my garage. My friends all love it. I should open a brewery. Well, guess what? Because you're a good brewer does not make you a good businessman. And and most of them are men, sorry, but that's the fact. And so like they would make decisions because they were so passionate about their product. Like this was their baby. And so I would say like, oh, you should spend money on marketing this. And they were like, had this innate belief that like my beer is so good, people will just buy it. And they would make decisions based on their heart, not their mind. And so that's why I learned that. But I told this story for such a good reason. I would love it. I wish I knew what it was.
I'll let you think about it, because there's a point there, and I think it's that you do have to be. I think it's a blend. You have to be passionate about what you're doing, and you have to, and this is a personal anecdote, but over the time of me creating content, building websites, doing whatever, you have to be like confident. You have to be like delusionally confident sometimes that you're gonna make it and you're gonna do the right thing. And that if you're not perfect, but you're going to continuously get better, and you're going to provide, and you can provide results, whether it's building a website or whatever. However, like you said, I do think I balance that mentality with another completely stark opinion that there are some people that just are not supposed to be the entrepreneur. Like, they are the technician, and they are an incredible technician. And really, they would be best served as, a CTO or like a head of development or something like that. And they would be making I just think about all the people that I know that have jobs, and this transcends. This is just anybody you're talking about. Like, if you don't think about this shit 24/7 or have a little bit of it, like, you're probably not supposed to be the entrepreneur. And that's even probably that's a little too much. I mean, maybe you should, I'm not saying you should be on.
No, I get what you're saying. No, you're right.
But there are people that I see, and this isn't like a diss. It's just an observation. If you're not that type of person.
Say diss outside of Pittsburgh?
I don't know. Maybe not. I'm saying it now.
That'll be like a diss track or something. In a rappers get in a battle, it would be like a diss track. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Keep going.
So this isn't a diss, but it's an observation of, there are just some, people just are different, and some people are kind of, you kind of feel like they're meant for that, or they could become that. But I just feel like there's a lot of people that almost go that route of trying to build their own thing just because they have a skill. And I'll wrap with this point, is that's the big thing, is I had a skill, and then I built a business. I tried to build a business around it. That's not actually
what I was talking
ideal.
About the brewers.
Exactly. That's not exactly the ideal. I think I've evolved, and I've learned a lot from that. And I think it was the path based on my previous endeavors and having a job and shit. But a lot of people will be like, oh, I have a skill, I should just make this into a business and force it. And it's not really that. You have to go through some sort of euphoric period where you're like, this is not just about me building some random thing for somebody. This is about me at some point trying to lift myself out of that technical seat and drive something more forward. And that's different for everyone, what that ultimately looks like. But it's just you can't, it's very different.
Have you ever read the book Rocket Fuel?
I think it's on my list. I don't read very much. I should probably get my Audible subscription back and start reading.
Listen, no shade. Don't be embarrassed about it. It's fine. I'll sum the book up in about 2 seconds. It means if you have there's different brain types, like you're saying. There's the the visionary, which is the idea person, and then there's the integrator or implementer. I can't remember which one he uses. Somebody else uses one, somebody uses the other. So the integrator and the visionary. If you have, I'm 100% the dreamer. My favorite 2 words are "what if." That's what if we did this? I get so excited about it and I love it, but I can't ever follow through and finish anything. I can't nothing gets done if I don't have somebody else there. But an integrator, man, they can knock stuff out and it gets done perfectly and it's detailed. But they're just sitting there waiting for something to do. So if you can combine those two, that's when you get Rocket Fuel. That's the cool. I just saved you the whole Audible book, but
nice.
It's interesting though. But it's a good read. But that's the concept, and it's so simple, and it makes so much sense. And like you're saying, we all have. I don't know why everybody gets this thing that they need to be a one-man business. And I keep saying, man, don't come at me. It's just a general phrase. They just need a one-person shop. They want to do all the things. You know what? You're not good at all the things. Nobody is.
It's true. Yeah.
Nobody can be good at all the things. I do this little exercise sometimes with people because I did it for myself. Because I was drowning. Same thing, right? Because I was oh, I'm good at this. I should have a bit, right? All the things. And you start to come to this realization that you might survive, but barely. You're never going to thrive financially unless you're really like an enigma, a unicorn. You're not going to thrive on your own. And so I made this, I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? And I started writing things down, like specifics, like, create a proposal, make sales call, set up a new server, set up this part, build the website. Like I made this list and it was long. And every one of the people listening here would have a list that long. Like it was long. And I kept then I'd be working and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even put this on my list. I would go back and put it, remember things. And then I went through with the highlighter and I'm like, what do I enjoy doing? And what am I good at doing? I sort of ended up coming up with this matrix idea, like the 4-quadrant matrix where it's like, I'm good at it, I'm bad at it. I hate it, I love it. And then you kind of plot the things. And I kind of figured okay, so the things that I'm good at and I love, boom, those are locked in on me. If I hate it and I'm bad, I hear you, bookkeeping, accounting, right? Horrible. I'm a disaster with that stuff and I don't enjoy it. So there's some stuff I love to design and make creative things, but I'm not good at it, right? So there, you see how there's all these different things. And if you can kind of map your own stuff out, it could help. It could help you to see yeah, I could outsource this or that. But I don't, people have such they just don't want to let go of things. And they call themselves a control freak. And I say, nay. I don't think so. I don't think you don't even think you're a control freak, do you? Because you're
I probably have been. Yeah, for sure.
Here's what I think.
I would say I'm moving away from it, yeah.
Yeah. When people say they're a control freak, I ask them this. I'm like, is it you don't want to hand stuff over because you care about the quality and the level of professionalism of the work that's being done for your customers? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, that's not a control freak. That's being a good business owner. You got the wrong partner. Get somebody who does it well. You know what I mean? That's normal. That's a normal way to feel. You should feel, if you don't care about those things, you're also going to fail, right? So, but people take that and they think, oh, I'm the only one that can do it. Guess what? I hate to break it to you guys, but there's probably a lot of people that could do it better than you.
Yeah. Definitely. So that's a good point. And to kind of take it one step further, again, just from my personal experience, I have a video editor now that I don't know, a contracted video editor that I kind of manage or whatever. And then I have a design developer.
Apologies for all of the mistakes today.
It's all good.
Shout out to that guy or girl.
Nathaniel's a boss. So, and then I also have design development that I've kind of started to kind of do that a little bit more on that side of the businesses and stuff. The thing that I will say though, is that you make a good point in the sense of reframing that from a control freak to just a good business owner. And I think that's important. And I think the next step for those types of people is just to try, for me too, I'm again speaking from experience, just to try to, I really hate editing. I'm okay at editing, but I hate editing. All right, let me delegate this. But then what you have to really pay attention to, because this is I feel like a pinnacle moment, is when you delegate, do you actually like managing someone? Because if you don't like managing somebody, that's another thing where you're oh shit, well, if I don't like managing somebody and I don't like doing this, now I'm in between a rock and a hard place because I can't do it myself or I don't want to do it myself. And I don't want to tell somebody else how to do it or deal with it. So now it's well, there's a couple of questions that would arise there. It's am I supposed to be a manager, leader, business person, whatever, or am I supposed to just do my skill and whatever? And there's no right or wrong here. I mean, it's right or wrong for you. It's not you shouldn't be forced to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone should necessarily do that. But then it's also just how does that feel for you? Should you be there? And it's all just a learning experience, but you have to pay attention to that because you can't force that because managing is a skill.
Oh man, yeah. And it can be complicated. There's another thing, niching. Niches, this is not what you think I'm going to talk about because niches are so important, but everybody thinks my niche needs to be home services companies that I build websites for, right? Well, guess what? You could also have a niche. I know a lady who has a very successful business and all she does is Google business profiles for people. fixes them, sets them up, troubleshoots them, white labels it to agencies so that they don't have to do it. Like, that is her entire business because that's what she's good at. And she made a business. She niched into a service. And I think people don't realize that that's an option. You can niche into an audience, which is also very important. And I think that's another little downfall that people get so scared. Like a niche, in my opinion, this is like something I'm trying to turn into like a phrase that people just have in their head. A niche is not an exclusion. It's a focus. And people get panicky about it. But it's like, you're not turning away business. Just this is who you're targeting. But you're either targeting a person or you can target like a thing that a lot of people need. Take what do you do? This is why that what do I do and what do I like is so important, because maybe that video editing piece of somebody else's business, like what Nathaniel's doing for us today, is important. And he loves it and he's good at it. He doesn't have to build websites and go sell stuff. Like, he could do just that and build a successful business doing it, right? So I think that's the other element of this, like, we have to do all the things. Like, we're an entrepreneur, we wear all the hats. It's like this burden that we all have to bear, which we actually don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely, you definitely don't have to wear all the hats. I mean, at first, obviously, but then you start like taking hats off and like handing them to other people. I feel like that's like a common motif, way that people describe them. You're still probably going to have to deal with like the hardest problems, because that's going to funnel its way up to you. It's not like when you take off a hat, it's not necessarily that you're like giving it's not like you're losing a lot of responsibility. Like, you're still responsible for that thing getting done. Ultimately, you have to keep that mentality, but you now have the freedom to kind of like do a little bit different things, or actually like work. It's the whole thing. Work on your business versus work in your business. That whole shit.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do. And there are people like you and I think we are kind of broken in certain ways that like we want to run a business.
Yeah.
At least I do. I don't know about you. Like, I want to have a business. I want to have a team. I like managing. I like making, like, having the vision and having people that help me make it happen. I love that. That's not for everybody. Not everybody wants that, and that's fine, you know? Because if we all wanted it, this world would be really annoying.
Yeah.
Nobody would want to do any of the work.
Yeah.
But so part of like what we do at Focus is like, and I'm not trying to be sales pitchy or anything. I just mean like, when you're trying to start out delegating and you don't have a lot of money, right? So you try and get a dev overseas or something like that. And then you're dealing with some trust issues and some like language barriers, maybe most likely time zone issues, like all of that stuff that is like a pain point for our industry. And so that's like, because I have done all of these things, right? I've already done the agency thing. I've been a freelancer. I've been in a partnership. I've been on my own. I've been like a full-time employee. Like, I've done all the things that you can do in this business. So I know what all the pain points are. And so I thought, like, what if we could just take all that pain away? So you can just like put in a ticket for a task and just communicate with somebody who is in your time zone and speaks your language and is a communicator. And then we handle all of the other like staffing, basically, like all of that, those issues. So you don't have to onboard a dev. You don't have to explain anything to them. Like, we handle all of that. And so that was like part of what I wanted to accomplish with this. So I'm saying this, not like, this is why you should use it. I'm saying like, this is what my vision was, because I felt that pain and I hated it. Like, when I was desperate, I had barely any money, but I ran out of either time or skill. And I hired a dev who I didn't know, because I didn't know anybody, because I wasn't in a community. And, you know, it all goes back to that too, right? Yeah. And then they ghost. And then what do? I'm up all night, whole weekend. Like, you have to just keep going, right? And it sucks. And you're mad, and you've already paid them probably some money, you know, like all of it. And then you're stuck doing it. And I was like, I don't want to ever have to do that again. And I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. So that's kind of like was our motivation too. So it's not necessarily like a forever thing. We could be a stopgap kind of. And like, because we can just use this a little bit if you need just a little something. Like, it's a way to sort of try it. I don't know.
So the business model then is mainly aimed, obviously, like freelancers, small agencies, et cetera, maybe all size agencies or whatever that, and it's just as an easy and very accessible way to outsource for those different types of teams that you told
Our
me.
main
What were those
thing is
teams?
we either fill a skill gap
Yeah.
or handle overflow. That's our two main things that we do. So we have development, design, copy, SEO, video editing, and admin, VA kind of stuff.
Nice. Okay.
So basically, it's like you can dip a toe, or you can use this regularly. You know, it's if you've got like a great use case is people who are website builders, like I am, you know, and it's like, then you have a request or hit a wall, either something breaks or there's a request that you don't know how to do. Outsource to a dev. And, you know, we'll have people do it, send us tickets and say like, can you do this for me? And then PS, can you also show me what you did so that I know how to do it now? You know, stuff like that. Or we have another like type of ticket that isn't connected to a certain team. It's called a rabbit hole ticket. And it is like for a question or some research. Like if you're totally caught in like, I don't know what plugin to use for this, or I don't know what the solution is to this problem, you can just ask a question, and like we'll have 2 people assigned to it, and they each will spend 20 minutes only. And then they'll come back to you. And you can say like, okay, let this one dig more, or, you know, whatever. You can have, it's like little research buddies. It's like ChatGPT, but real humans.
That's pretty cool.
No, I mean, so you can ask ChatGPT, but this is like literally real humans who are in the biz doing the stuff. And instead of you spending like 4 hours doing something, you can have somebody do it in 40 minutes and you can get your answer. So it's pretty cool. It's fun.
Do you, I'm just interested like deeper because I knew about FocusWP, but I didn't know to this depth. Do you have like a project or account managers as well? Or are they interfacing directly with like the
we call them our conductors. So we have conductors, and all of our conductors have a dev background, because you don't really need a copywriting background to handle those requests. But the dev ones are so complicated and so like unique, like the tiny little weird things that are not like, it's not like I can make a menu of things that you want to order on your dev thing. It's always something like random, like why won't this plugin work when I enable this other thing, you know?
Right.
And so, so we have a whole team of devs. We have like 14 or 15, I think. And we have copywriters, and we have designers, and we have all these people. And then the conductors are the ones that are the mediators. So even if a dev were to ghost, like you wouldn't even know about it, because we just get the work done somehow, right? Like, because you're not working directly with those people. You're working with the people that are in that conductor role. And we don't actually have devs ghost. I could talk on a whole podcast episode about that whole phenomenon and devs and stuff, and how there's a lot of cultural stuff that I think in the Western world that we do wrong, that is actually what causes a lot of that, the like negative connotation for working with overseas devs and stuff. But not all our devs are overseas. We have them on almost every continent.
Interesting. Well, it seems like you got quite the operation going there.
Yeah, we're changing a bunch of stuff up too. Got some big things coming.
Maybe we should dive into that a little bit.
Sure.
What do you think? I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit off camera. You've had some things happen in your life, and now you've had a few adventures, a lot of adventures. You've had some interesting events happen, and then now with FocusWP, it sounds like from our previous conversations that you're trying to spin up a new arm, like a new arm of the offer to a degree. I mean, similar but different. I'll let you just kind of give me the backstory a little bit, and give me the concept.
I'm creating a course to educate agencies and freelancers, web pros, basically. The course is going to educate people on how to create a continuity plan. And I also have to educate people on what a continuity plan is, because you've probably never even heard of it, have you?
It's funny. You didn't use that word in the beginning, like when we were off camera, but I guess the term I've heard is a contingency plan, and I have heard of that, and I started setting that up probably like 4 years ago and never finished.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah, it's
so that's where I'm at.
the other, like if I would call it a hit by a bus plan, people know what I'm talking about, right? But here's the thing in your mind. Okay, so you're going to plan for if you get hit by a bus. So here's my question to you. If you got hit by a bus, would you be dead?
Well,
I think people don't think
I guess
about
you
that,
don't.
right?
I guess you don't know, but I was planning for death. Yeah. So but you
exactly.
don't know. But you don't know. You're
Most
right.
of the time we plan for death. And so even if we don't want to admit it, I think a lot of times in the back of our mind or in like some dark corner, it's like, well, it won't really be my problem anymore, will it? Like, and so there's lots of reasons why people don't do this. It's because of, there's that element but also it's dark. And also like, it's never on fire until it happens. So like you can always like look both ways to see if there's a bus coming and there isn't. But there's always a client issue or money that needs made or so, so it's tough to prioritize.
Yeah.
I get that. But what happened to me is I got hit by a bus and I ended up in a coma. Like it's so dumb. Like how many people do you know that have been in a coma?
I think you're the only one, like directly. Yeah.
I feel like I could have just had someone tell me stories about it. Like this is like, I'm like, God, this is one thing I don't think I needed to have it. Like, I don't think I needed that experience in my life, but here we are.
Yeah.
I'm open about it. If anybody wants to talk about it, I will say if you do end up having somebody that you know that's in a coma, definitely talk to them and touch them because I didn't like know what was happening, but I did. I don't know. Anyway, so I got hit by a bus and I was in the hospital for 6 weeks. I was unconscious for 10 days in the hospital for 6 weeks. And it took me, I think it was 3 or 4 months before I was like, I think it was like 3 months before I was working mostly part-time. And then like 4 months before I was back to working full days. It took me out. But guess what? I didn't die.
Yeah.
Yay. That's a good news. The other part is though, my business needed to keep making me money while I was sick. So if you fell off the map, would your business keep making money? Because it was like, I mean, my insurance stepped in, but my bill, it was like $750,000. The hospital, which is nuts. Thank God for the out-of-pocket limit, on your insurance. But anyway, like, and it's not just that. So there's lots of other things. Like not everybody goes into a coma, right? Because that's the same thing too. It's like, what are the chances? I'll take my, I'll risk it and not worry about it, about that. Yeah. But I know a lady who, her and her husband were digital nomads. They worked out of their RV and they were traveling and went on a hike and came back and their whole RV had burned down. There was a malfunction somewhere. There was a fire. It burned up. It destroyed all of their equipment. So they had the clothes on their back and their cell phones. That was it. What do? That's an incapacitation. Basically, the continuity plan is to cover a short-term incapacitation of the principal, not the death, the incapacitation, because the business needs to keep going. And so there's the other one that's like fairly common is like the appendix burst type of scenario, right? Like you're kind of fine and then you're not. Like you're sick and it's an emergency. So you have to go and you have to have surgery and you're out of it and then you're recovering. And then like day 3, you're like, okay, I can make phone calls and stuff, But it's like that little like 3-day period. There was a colleague who had that happen to her. And she said she was like in the bed being like wheeled into surgery on her phone, calling somebody being like, because she had a course that was launching the next day and she hadn't finished. And she was like, can you please log in? Here's the password. Can you go message everybody in my, this kind of nonsense, right? And so that's one of those things where it's like, oh, and there's just a million other stories. A friend who's, had a family member, his wife was pregnant. They lost their baby and she almost died as well. So nothing happened to him physically, but emotionally, gone, done. Like he could not function for weeks, really. And then you've got other things like natural disasters. Like what happens if there's a flood and you lose equipment? Or what happens if, depending on where you live, like fill in the blank with your, blizzard takes out the power lines, so you have no cell coverage or internet. You can't work, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean you're in a coma. What it means is, like, if you are incommunicado or unable to run your business for a short period of time, a few days or whatever, what happens? And whenever we are, especially these folks, like, this is exactly the people that we've been talking about here that are who are on my heart about this whole topic, because everything's up here, right? Like, how many things are in your head? So, little tip right now, everybody listening, including you, Mr. Szymanski.
Yeah.
Every single time, get your pencils out, kids. Every single time you get a 2FA text message to your phone, when you log in, immediately go change it to an authenticator that is in your password manager. Password managers, you're able to delegate. If you are incommunicado and can't, either, like, if you're unconscious and you are in surgery and you can't look at your messages, or if your cell signal's out and you can't receive messages, whatever it is, your cell phone is this is a huge point of failure in our businesses, because anything that only you can access is a risk. And we don't want to hand over our bank details and all this stuff, obviously, but you don't have to permanently. But if you have a way, like a plan, if something happens to me, open this sealed envelope kind of a thing, right? But digitally. So I have my plan basically, if you care. Do you care? Are you interested?
I care.
Okay.
This is important.
I think you need to have two entities in your world. One is in your personal life. This person's job is to flip the switch. So this has to be somebody who knows you enough to know if something bad happens to you, but like not the person sitting next to you when the plane goes down, right? Like if you and your wife are always together and something could happen to both of you, obviously your wife could be one. Like you can have like this person first, and if they don't, then this person, right? Obviously, but like for simple terms, somebody in your life that knows what's going on, and you prepare an email for them, and you have it written, and you have it ready, and you get their permission first, and then you remind them constantly, like, just in case, if anything happens to me, you send this email to this address. It's all you have to do. And that email then goes to the other entity. And this is your deputy, basically, the person that you would deputize to step in and handle things in your business. And there's a wide-ranging list of things that you might want that person to do. You might, depending on your client list and how you run your business, you might want them to just notify your clients and say, listen, we've had a little emergency. We're going to put our projects on hold for a few days and we'll get right back to you or something, right? But if you've got big corporate clients, you can't say that, right? You can't. They'll be like, what? There's one single point of failure for this whole gig. So you might want somebody that can just step in and communicate, make sure. I went down on the 27th of the month. It was October. So November 1st. No, it was September 27th. So October 1st. And my mom is there in the ICU with me. It's the first, second, third. She's like, it's the beginning of the month. I wonder if she has any bills that need paid. So if you're out of commission at the beginning of the month, who pays your bills? Who pays your contractors? Who takes the money from your clients and puts it into your bank account? I had all my bills on auto pay. I was so smart. I did so good. I had everything on auto pay. You know what wasn't on auto pay? My paycheck. So the account that I pay my bills from, I just would put money into it to cover those each month, right? And nothing was in that account because I would just put the amount that I needed. So there's all these weird things that you don't think about until you're like in that situation. And then, okay, so this all makes sense, right? Yeah. Except, okay, so you tell somebody, email my clients, let them know, okay? That's a simple sentence. How do they do that? How do they know what clients to email? Do you have a CRM? Do you have a contact list? Do you have a project list? This gets complicated. So processes and systems and tools and stuff like that are super important. But in the as you're growing your business, we don't have those things at first, right? So yeah, work on it. Sure, yes, work on it. But also, in the meantime, let's get like the basics covered. So even if you prepare your list and you say, you just make a list of people. These are my active clients and here's their email addresses. And then set a thing on your calendar once a month, once a quarter, whatever, review your list and say like, oh, I'm not doing anything with them anymore, or I've added these clients, whatever it is, that kind of a thing. It's not very elegant, but it gets the job done, right? And it's a lot easier than waiting until you've set up all of your systems and SOPs and everything like that, And so anyway, password managers, oh my God, use password managers. What do you use? Which one?
Google, the Google Password Manager.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's just like in Chrome, like it's attached to my Google account because it's attached to my Google accounts. So I don't know any of my passwords because they're all in there. They're all just like random shit.
And you can't. So. Well, yeah, I don't know any. Like all mine are the generated ones too. But guess what? Yeah. You can't even delegate that.
They do actually have a share feature that they're working on, but I don't think it's ready yet. So yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, shit, I need to potentially look into a different solution.
1Password, Bitwarden, Dashlane. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
LastPass used to be my go-to. It's not my favorite. They had a breach, but like everybody always has a breach at some point. But it's more so like some of their features. So in some of these ones, you can put your authenticator thing. Like I was telling you about when you get a two-factor, you can put it in. You could save it in 1Password, and some of the other ones you can save it right in there. So you don't have to go through that second step. It just automatically puts it in, which is great. I think it completely defeats the purpose of two-factor, but I think we've really jumped the shark on two-factor anyway. Like I think we are out of control with how many things we have to do to get into our accounts at this point.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I saw a thing on, what was it? It was like their, somebody's account for like a frozen yogurt points or something like that. They're like, I don't know if we need two-factor on this. I think we can play it loose on this one.
It is getting a little ridiculous. Frozen yogurt.
Beginning of the month when I pay bills and like organize stuff, I'm just like, I'm ready to start drinking by like 11 a.m. It's like every single account you have to log into, and that sends you to another thing that you have to log into to get that thing to get back into the thing, and then you keep going, and then they log you out because it's been 2 seconds. And so it's like, I hate them.
Yeah.
And
while we're on that topic, have you messed with passkeys at all?
Yeah.
I haven't. I just keep getting it. I just keep ignoring it. So I don't know if it's worth it.
They can be good. A passkey is like if you have facial rec on your phone.
Yeah.
Use an iPhone?
No. I'm not a sheep. I'm a.
What do you use?
A Google Pixel.
What animal does that make you?
A Googler. I don't know.
So you're all in on the Google ecosystem, and that's
for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So you're a Google sheep, is what you are.
Yeah, they can have my data. They just take it. Yeah.
Well,
you guys are in this.
I mean, I'm like, all these people that are so freaking worried about it. I'm like, listen, you couldn't go off grid if you wanted to. Like they're gonna find you. Like what? Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going off grid. I'm very, very on grid.
I post a video every day. I'm literally exactly. Putting my entire life out there. So it's like it doesn't matter.
I'm like, I might as well take advantage of the grid because I'm on it. I want all these easy things. Like when it's like, do you want customized ads? And everybody's like, no. I'm like, yeah. Why do I want an ad for like men's underwear? I want an ad for things I care about.
That's true.
I don't know why that was my thing. I don't get that. Do they even have them? Is that a thing? Do you get ads for men's underwear?
Maybe if I was like looking at underwear, then I would probably get it. It's crazy. I need to look into that even more because the retargeting isn't not men's underwear, but like the retargeting of ads. I mean, it's impressive what they're able to do. Just it knows you. We need to develop our own algorithm, something we can profit off of. I don't know.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild.
Anyway, so that's some of the things I think about things a lot, like you do. Like I think about stuff I care about.
I'm a big thinker. Yeah,
Me too.
I probably do it too much. That's one of the things is like I think and I think and I think and I think that
You're
that's a
dreamer.
good thing.
You need an integrator.
Yeah, I feel like I'm slightly both, but I can't. It's hard to do both because you're thinking while you're integrating, and then you're contradicting your integration. You're not just like thinking about how to get it done. You're thinking about how to get it done the best way possible, and then you sometimes don't get it done. I was a really bad overthinker before I started those videos every day.
I think I've watched like 200 or 300 of them.
There's only been
What number are you on?
134.
Whatever algorithm, whatever I am in the algorithm, it's got you in it. Like
Nice.
I open LinkedIn, I open what else are you on? There's another one too, which I don't remember which one
All
it
of
is.
them.
You're on all of them, so I don't remember which other one it is, but it's like,
Yeah.
boom, oh, what's Mark doing today? Like, let's hear about his plate of meat and potatoes. Can we talk about
Yeah,
it?
it's working. I'm down
I-
to talk about it.
Could I
Let's
get
hear
a
it.
vegetable in there, buddy? Like, I worry that you do
do
not
you-
have any vegetables.
I'm worried.
Maybe a piece of broccoli.
I'm worried that it sounds like you don't think potatoes are vegetables. I'm worried.
Green leafy vegetables are important. I just want to say, there's nothing green. Well, the avocado's green, but that doesn't count. Like, can I get a leaf of lettuce?
She's moving the goalpost on me, folks. I do like broccoli. I don't really like
great
making
with that meal.
broccoli. And
Steam a little up.
yeah, occasionally
Have a
we
little
throw in
with
some broccoli.
with some ranch to dip it in as an
Oh
afternoon
man,
snack.
don't get
I
me
don't
in
care.
the ranch. My wife. I didn't eat ranch before I met my wife, and then I've been eating ranch for the last 10 years now. So
Speaking of ranch,
I really
the Pittsburgh thing, which we didn't do growing up, but this is a thing that like you get a side of ranch when you get pizza.
yes. Yeah,
It's a thing.
Yeah, you're talking. You're right at my wife's alley. Yeah, she
Freaking delicious. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's just
and then
like,
ranch
when you're
on
already eating
fries.
Pizza, why not? Yeah, ranch on fries too. Yeah.
While we're on the topic of ranch, Heinz actually makes something called Cranch, which is ketchup and ranch in a bottle mixed. And I used to love that, and I still
don't
do
like
like
the name.
mixed ketchup and ranch because I think the Europeans mix mayo and ketchup.
That's
And
good. I don't know
yeah.
about
you got to try ketchup and ranch. You gotta. Yeah.
Heinz. How could we not mention our what is it? It's like it is that's another super weird Pittsburgh thing that like the brand loyalty, but come on.
Yeah.
Like I don't care where you are in the world if you're like, is this Hunt's? Like you can just
Yeah.
tell. You're
Yeah.
like, this is not.
Get this
You
out
can
of
tell.
here.
It's the only ketchup that is good.
That's
And
true.
Nate Bargatze does a really funny thing on ketchup.
Really?
Where he goes to an
I'd watch
organic
that.
place. He goes to an organic restaurant or something, and they like bring him we have organic artisanal ketchup, and he's like, I gotta go.
I gotta get out of here.
He goes, Heinz is doing so good. Like, why do we have to
Yeah.
keep changing it? But
Sure.
yeah, we love our ketchup in the Burgh.
It's true.
So yeah, your videos, they're great.
Thank you.
I like them. I do get sucked into them, kind of. Like I don't know.
That's good. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
doing something right.
You are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like, who are you doing them for? Is it for you?
It's a great question. Yeah, pretty much it started for me. I saw other people, and some people told me, hey, you could definitely do this same thing that this other guy is doing every single day. And I was just watching those ones, and I was like, this is pretty interesting, kind of just documenting. But I mean, there's a couple things. There's a couple things that I'm navigating. One, yes, I like to just document and talk constantly into a camera, especially. So that's helpful, and I think that's important to me, and I think it's important to other people. It doesn't really resonate with as many people as I would hope it does, because it's just random shit. So there's not like as much of a common thread. Occasionally there will be some common threads. A lot of it is what I'm doing, like how I'm building the businesses, how I'm doing whatever else, like the technical stuff, rebranding things, all that. So there's a lot of documentation there. However, you could make a severely good argument that if I just made more specific videos, like shorts like that every single day about like, oh, here's a website that I kind of like redesign. I'm making this up, but like a website that I kind of like helped redesign, just like a quick little overview of that, like every single day. Obviously people start to associate you with that, with authority in whatever you're doing. And then that's a much better way to potentially get clients or build authority and, for your peers in that industry. So that is something that I'm probably going to try to start doing a little bit more.
That's really interesting because I think I don't feel like you're talking to your clients or like your potential clients in those videos. It honestly feels like you're talking more to like me or like people in the industry. The way that you speak about like a rebrand and all that kind of stuff is interesting.
Yeah.
However, you do have an element of your business that is geared towards promoting things or sponsorships or something.
I mean, I have too many things going on is kind of a way. Well, I mean, I used to have way too many things in different industries. Now I have too many things almost like in the same spot. And I say that.
Oh, I have so many things I want to do. I get so many ideas.
Yeah.
It's like, and I get so excited about them.
It's good. It's good and bad because like you want to have ideas, you want to be like that, but at the same time, you do have to be like somewhat like focused WP. But like you to be somewhat focused. And I do think that it is very difficult. Like, again, I just took a lot of the opportunities. Like I had the skill of building websites, started building websites, kept doing that, had the idea to start making videos and educate people. So I did that very organically. And then as soon as you make videos in this industry, because there's not a lot of people making videos, like there are, but there's not a ton. As soon as you do that and you're half decent on camera, which I like to think that I am, and I can educate people.
Yeah, you're definitely half decent.
Thank you. And and then as soon as you get to that point, then the plugin people and the hosting companies are like, hey, we'd love to work with you in some capacity. And that is honestly, I could talk about that for days, but I'll keep it short here. That is honest, because I talk about this on my second channel now, because that's part of all this, that is a little bit of a trap depending on what your goals are. Because then my channel changed to like kind of forcing a little bit of the content or not like specifically talking directly to the people that I was trying to talk to from, my peer angle. And I've never made content for clients. Like I've never made content trying to get people to buy website services. The only type of content I made is for the people that are trying to be like me or educate, right? In that sense. And it's just kind of like it's not a completely detrimental content strategy, but there's just not really too much of one. So I put out a ton of content. I think a lot of it's valuable, but I do need my next, like year, 2 years of this. It needs to be more specific and more focused.
You follow Daryl Wilson?
Yeah. Well, I've known Daryl. I don't know him, but I've known of his stuff for a long time. Yeah.
He's done very well with one of those angles that you're talking about. Yeah. It might be good. Yeah. Cause I do think like what you do on your daily ones, I kind of feel like they don't, those are like personal diaries.
That's largely, that was largely the thought, sort of.
Yeah, more than like a business tool. And I think that that's fine. Like, I think that's great. And I think they're interesting. But I think that for the time and effort and money you're putting into them, you could probably, without too much struggle or stress, tweak a bit to make them more targeted to achieve a goal that you choose, right? Yeah. So if you decided to like, let's go back to our whole community conversation, right? Because people are in their own bubbles, and they don't, and people who are online and doing things are fake, right? And you're not. You have a very real element to your videos and stuff, right? Like you're not. Like you talk about your struggles and your problems along with like other things you're doing, and you don't really brag about successes and stuff like that. So you're very like, you could be a gateway to community, like a community gateway drug, where people could sort of feel like they know you, and you could open yourself up to potentially. I don't know where the revenue comes in this, but I'm saying like if you tweak that way, like you could target folks who are in the industry. And you could help them by saying like, listen, don't do everything yourself. It's not realistic. Or, like you've got revenue goals. People do not have revenue goals. And they don't count. They think like, I just sold a $3,000 website. Yay, put it in my bank account. Like, and it's a victory. And it's like, that's like, okay, you got to go do that like 50 more times, pal. Like, like there's a lot. Like if you don't start from the top and say like, okay, if I want to make 30 grand a month, how many websites do I have to sell at this price? And then how much recurring can I, blah, blah, blah. Like you got to do a lot of math to be a business owner and all that stuff. But so that stuff that you're doing, I think is brilliant and great for like show numbers. People will tune in if you show your bank account numbers. You know what I mean? Like, because nobody does it. Nobody does it. And it's interesting and it helps everybody because we're all in these little bubbles, you know? But I don't know. There's probably a revenue stream in there somewhere in that you just make enough connections that you would just know everybody then. And whenever people need something that you offer, they can look to you, or vice versa. You can go to other people and get stuff. But if you wanted to do it, if you want to keep getting more website clients, like if that's your business goal, then talking about like your revenue goals, you know, I don't know if that's the right. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not talking so much about like what you're building and how you're marketing things and how you're helping people. I like the transparency anyway. My thing is like what you could do. One of my sales tactics that's been extremely successful is to give away all of the secrets. Like say like somebody's like wants a website. Well, can't I do that myself? Yeah, absolutely. I'll show you how. What you have to do is you have to buy a domain name and then you have to set it up and then you have to do a Cloudflare so you can push your thing. Blah, blah, blah,
overwhelm
right?
them. Yeah, almost.
Yeah, you just flood them with like what you're doing and they're like, just kidding, never mind. Here's $10,000. You know, so if you go through on that angle, you could show like give it away. Give away the knowledge. Yeah. Not everybody agrees with this, but it's worked for me and I've seen it work for other people. That if you just show people what you're doing, they also, when you show it, like you're not gatekeeping, they then, you don't have an air of desperation whatsoever. And being desperate to get people's money, it makes them distrust us because they think, oh, they're just like, it's like when you get your oil changed and they're like, oh yeah, now you need your air filter fixed. And I'm like, you're just saying that. Like, I don't trust you. You know, it's like, but if they see you already talking about all the stuff, they're like, oh, well, he's not just trying to get my money. So maybe I do, you know, anyway, that works great. So but I kind of think you're staggering those two things right now, which I think
it's a little bit of an issue, that I'm working through. And so there's a lot of things you hit on there that pretty much all right. Let me try to hit on a couple things that hopefully will help other people though too.
Well, and this isn't criticism of you, by the way.
No.
Like I think what you're doing is great and I think they're cool. I'm just like, my brain is always like, how can you make money off of them?
I appreciate that. There's no way that you could possibly criticize me more than I've already internally criticized myself, or anybody for that matter. So it doesn't. I appreciate it, like genuinely.
Yeah.
Because I'm always thinking like this is the plight that I'm in. I'm constantly thinking about like, am I doing these things right? And like that's actually part of the other thing too. Is like I need to do these things. I need that little bit of an open diary because hopefully it will help other people maybe, but at least it'll help me because I'll just at least express them more rather than kind of like keeping them in my head or talking to myself. I will at least like just you know, not in a crazy way, but I'll just, you know, put it out there. So, but a couple things there that are really interesting motifs that other people might have. One, I've noticed something that I want to get to post, not post economic, but post service provider. Like I've wanted to get to as soon as I had a taste of being the educator and being the consultant and being the thought leader, that's where I want to be. That is, I know without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, that is who I am. And I want to be there on many different fronts, but that's where I want to be. So what happened was the trajectory was I got a little bit of a taste of that. And I was like, okay, I literally said, like, you could probably go back and see content. I was like, fuck client work. I don't want to do that anymore because I just want to do this. And then, you know, whether it's imposter syndrome or a bunch of other things, you start thinking, well, Mark, we've only made like $170,000 in our career of doing this. Do we really have the authority to like become the thought leader without continuing to try to scale this business a little bit more? And then I was like, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. And it's like not me talking to myself, but like like you're seeing that happen with other people, and you're like, there's other people that are more successful than you. Could you really be a thought leader in that space without doing that? So then that kind of dragged me back to like, okay, well, let's do this agency thing, but let's do it a little bit better this time, a little bit easier. Let's delegate so I'm not the only person doing all the work. And that's kind of worked out. So that's like one big thing is like, I saw that and I was like, you know, over the past couple of years, and I was like, that's where I want to be. I don't want to be the guy that's building websites. Like I have that skill. I could still kind of like teach it, do it, whatever, but I don't want to be that. So that kind of was a little bit of a problem. The
Great
other
news.
thing is
There are tons of people that's all they want to do.
yeah, exactly. So the other thing is like you were talking about showing struggles and showing successes. That's another thing that from watching other content creators and other people in the same type of space, not the same, niche of WordPress, but the same thing is like, yeah, you kind of have to show your struggles, but I also think it's a double-edged sword. Like you can't be whiny, obviously. You can't like feel like you're a victim. But if you are going through like certain things, you should probably say that. I think that people love the transparency there. But I don't know if like you said this or you said that I don't show like a ton of successes or whatever, however you said it. But my point is that
you don't brag about stuff.
You do. I would say you do absolutely have to make people aware of your wins, not in a braggadocious way. But here's what I mean is like there is some level of not everyone's going to take the same because you can't please everyone. But like I've just noticed that a trend on like YouTube and a trend on this, even with like chill people that are transparent and not guru pieces of shit, they still say how much like money they're making and they still say how much like how many wins they've had. Because that is like to the common person, there's so much noise out there that you need some sort of a signal that this person is not a fraud. So it's like I'm trying to balance that now where it's like, again, I use that 170,000 number, which is not, I don't really think is particularly impressive, but like just like being transparent and open is like, listen, I didn't just make this shit up. Like I have actually taken money from people to build things and they're happy. It's like, it's that simple. Like I have a note in my like, notes of just like general notes thing. It's like list my motherfucking accomplishments because people, if you don't do that, nobody is going to know and nobody's going to care about what you do. And again, don't be a bragging piece of shit.
No.
But like there's a level to that. And I feel like that's really important because if you don't create your own social
reviews are
too.
That's why that's so important because that's somebody else bragging about you. I could brag about you all day long and it's not going to like nobody's going to think it's not bragging because it's not about me. So if you get other people to brag about you, that's the
definitely.
That's the jam. You know what? The idea of your list thing, I like the idea of taking your, like you have a to-do list, and then when you mark stuff done, instead of it just going into the void, instead of a to-do, it goes to a ta-da list.
Nice.
And then it's all the things you've done. Because if you, like, we're so focused on how many things are on that list that we forget about all the things we've checked off.
Oh, it's a really important point. Yeah, I mean, you got to look back sometimes and see how far you've come. Because if you don't,
the ta-da list.
Yeah. One other point that I want to make there, because you kind of hit on it, was like you were kind of hinting around this new concept. It's not a new concept to anybody other than me, like as far as my implementation of it goes. But the one opportunity that I feel like I and other people have when you're trying to service clients, but you're also still trying to teach the people that are in your industry, is you kind of have a little bit of a window to go from like an offer hierarchy, from like something that's like a free and then like a lead magnet and then a DIY. I mean, you have this in everything, but that's the thing. I've literally, Stephanie, I have never had any offers. Like I've been the worst business person in that regard. I've never like really, like I have offers because I've taken money from people, but I don't have anything that like sits out there.
You don't have
I was always
repeatable sales.
Oh yeah. I've never like, I could tell you what I do. Yeah, I could tell you what I do, but every project has pretty much been like custom on the website. Every like consulting situation, it's a little bit more productized there because it was a newer thing, but like every like sponsorship stuff, all that stuff has been largely kind of custom or like felt out a little bit, a little bit of the productized things, sneaks in there. But that's like the biggest thing. And
Have you
I was
worked
just
with a coach, Mark?
Like directly with a coach. No, I feel like I have a ton of mentors. But I don't like,
no, like a mediator. Not directly,
but yeah. So yeah, that's,
mentors are good. Yeah. But sometimes if you have like not like a coaching program, but like a coach who like looks at where you're at and helps you figure out, which is a mentor, I guess. But
yeah. So, but yeah, so that's my whole business life story there. But I think it's on the upswing. But I do appreciate that perspective and those types of things because that's something that
We can't see our own stuff.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Like building your own
100%.
website. Holy crap. It's the worst.
It is.
100%. Have I told, do you want to hear about my idea for an app? Is
it a secret?
Yeah, that's why I'm whispering. It's don't steal it. Actually, I would love it. I would love if somebody stole this and actually built it. It's like Tinder, but for web developers. And like you have to your profile, instead of like I like long walks, it's like your website style, like styles that you like and things you've done. And so if you like somebody's stuff and you swipe right on them and they swipe right, like if you guys match, instead of going on a date, you have to build each other's website.
Oh, so okay, so it's like all web developers.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
Tinder for
there's
web
no
developers.
clients. I see. Okay.
Yeah, and then we build each other. So you match with somebody that has a style that you like, and then you build each other's websites instead of building your own, which is hell, right? So
It is tough. Yeah.
yeah, come on, see, somebody build that. Wouldn't it be fun?
We could vibe code that in an afternoon. We're doing that. That's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing now. It's just it's so easy apparently. Anything else crazy going on? I mean, you got a lot of stuff, but
I do.
I'm excited for your new endeavors.
Okay, I have something I want to ask you about then.
Let's hear it.
I want to start a membership, and
Okay.
I have my community on Facebook. Facebook is frustrating, as we all know. It's a catch-22. I don't know if that's the right phrase for this, but it's easy to get people into a Facebook group because they're already on Facebook, right? And it has notifications on your app on your phone. Like everybody's already locked into that little ecosystem. So there's advantages to that. And the structure's all there. Like people can request it, all of it. It's easy. But you have I post stuff. Like I'll post stuff about our weekly hangout and stuff like that. People will be like, I saw this like 2 days later. Like the algorithm sucks. Nobody sees things. It's all just like going into a void. So I'm like, okay, well, let's get rid of that algorithm. Let's move to my own platform. And then it's like, I know how I feel. Like when somebody's like, join us on Circle, I'm like, like I don't want to have another thing to log into, School. No, I'm done with school. I don't want to. But now I'm like, so I'm caught in this thing of like, I want to move it to a place where I can offer more. I've wanted to do like a business book club for a long time. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Like Donald Miller and Mike Michalowicz and Rocket Fuel, all these books like that we all talk about and read. Like it would be super fun to have like threads about them, especially for newbies that are coming in and like just learning and stuff.
Yeah.
And other stuff. Like I have so many resources and things that I've made that I could just give away to people, but it's like I don't have any like way to do it really. So I want to have a community, and so Fluent community just launched. I'm sort of going all in on the Fluent stuff. I really like the owner and the developers and like their way of doing things and like their vibe. I don't know what the right word to say is, but so they have Fluent community, so I could put that on my site. But like, will people come to it?
Is that your question?
Yeah.
So this is a really good topic because it's something that I've thought about and I've analyzed it because I want to do it, but I just am a little baby and I just don't actually do it, and I also have too many other things going on, so I need to like think of a better plan. I feel like, but here's the thing: from my estimation of being a part of groups, there is no good answer here because the first answer. Is that a
catch-22 though? I don't know if it's a catch-22 or if it's just a crappy situation.
I feel like the whole situation, might be kind of a little bit of a catch-22. Like the problem that you have is Facebook is the most accessible, easiest to set up, free, et cetera, whatever. But it's Facebook. So it's like you are limited by some people because some people, especially younger people, they don't even use Facebook. Like there's a ton of problems there. Also, obviously, you don't own the data and all that other sort of shit that you're talking about, like with the control.
Algorithms,
so that's
the biggest issue, yeah.
Algorithms terrible too. So that's one situation. The next thing that you think though is, because I don't even, normally when I think about this, Facebook is there, but it's not even something I consider because I don't have one already. So the big two is like, do you stay on WordPress or do you go with a SaaS, right? And SaaS meaning Circle, School, something else, or WordPress. And even within WordPress, it's like SureDash, Fluent Community, et cetera, whatever. But that's less important for the grander business.
Are they going to go to my
scheme.
website or to another website to log into this.
Exactly. So the thing is, here's the biggest, this is the real big one, okay? And I hope that we could...
Hit me with it.
The mobile experience.
Should I get my pencil?
I already said it. The mobile experience. the mobile
You're
experience, right? Because I have Circle and School on my phone. And I don't have too many school
get notifications.
Communities. Yeah. It's like if you're thinking about creating a community, the idea, the essence of a community, I feel like, is to be like tapped in. And if you're not getting the communications or those notifications and you're not feeling that, then like you may almost forget that you're in that community. Unless it's maybe if it's a regular weekly thing and you can get into their calendars a little bit, maybe there's some other ways around that. But like the conversation is just like the reason we have these social media apps and the reason they've grown so much is because of how interconnected they are to us at every moment, at every day. Literally, unless you turn the shit off, it's like, oh, this random person made a post. It's like, okay, I don't care. Like, please turn that off. But like, but that is the concept when I think of how I would want to be on that side and build that type of thing and have people integrated into my community. It has to be there.
It's notifications.
It has to be it. Yeah.
You're 100% right. And that goes back to like, I didn't state it clearly like that, but basically that's my problem. Like when I say the algorithm problem, what really it is that nobody's getting any notifications.
You could, I feel like, I don't know enough about Fluent Community. I think I looked at it a little bit. And I think that WordPress might continue to go this direction, but like, and you would know better than me, like Fluent Community. My first question would be to any of them, do they have an app situation? I'm going to assume most of them kind of don't necessarily yet. It's probably like go to the website, download it as an app type thing. Would probably be the best you can get, and then it pops up on your phone, but it's really just using the browser. The next thing is like, okay, well, if you don't have an app, do you have robust like email notifications at least or something? That's still not great because like it's email.
So Fluent, I've asked about this because I agree.
Yeah.
It has to be an app.
Yeah.
And the only reason I purchased it and I'm like installed it, I haven't set it, I configured everything, but that's where I'm like experimenting with it all. And it's because the guy his name is Shahjahan, I think, I forget, but he goes by Jewel, Jewel, lovely human. He's the owner of all the Fluent stuff, which their company is called WP Managed Ninja, but at this point they're just Fluent, I think, because like they have so many products. But anyway, he is not interested in getting into the app game. Which is good, I think, because he wants to focus on all of this. So what he did was he opened the API so that other people can create it. So there's already an app in the marketplace, like I think it's in the App Store, that you can use. So I think those will need to mature a bit, but it's there and it's going to be a thing.
Well, I would say that's a good sign. So
it's a good sign, but is it the right solution at this point is still...
Yeah, that's different. That's difficult to say. But here's the thing though. If we think broader, right? Like it is a good sign to me, like hearing that for the first time, it is a good sign that the creator of the community platform is thinking in that way, because a lot of times the people that are really good at the technology, they don't think, like we were talking about earlier, they're not like thinking in terms of like, well, what does the actual user, not even my client, but the end user need and what does my client need to give their end user the best experience possible? To me, a community app needs to have a community platform needs to have an app like that. That's why Circle and School and everything like that. It's one of the reasons why they're so successful, because they're their own community ecosystem. And if you can create that on your own, then I mean that's the golden goose. Like if you have full control over that and you don't need to hire a developer, like a specific mobile app developer to create it all yourself, and you could kind of like somehow tap into that. So it's a little bit different.
I would need to hire a developer. I don't know how to build an app. What are you talking about?
Well, I thought you were saying that there was like a way where you could kind of like
somebody's already building it, is what I'm saying.
Right. Well, are they going to be? Is it going to be like a situation where it's kind of like its own app thing, and then you're able to just kind of like log in with your API creds and stuff like that, and it populates all of your community thing? Yeah. So that's what I mean. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is going to be like, but that would be sick. So, yeah. I think you're paddling up the right creek then there with that one. That seems
I appreciate that because it's been a struggle because I'm like I don't log into a lot of websites to like get notifications. You know what I mean? Like it's done. Like there's nobody's gonna be there. I would love to. This is another one I want to do. We should have like a competition. Who has more ideas on their plate that they want to do with their business that they will probably never do? No, I've wanted for years to do a co-working space, and like accountability, like ADHD kind of situation, and I have a concept in mind, and I want it to be like where it's only slightly structured, but to have a place where like every hour, but not on the hour, maybe like 5 after or 10 after, because I always run late anyway. And it's like, plus the news gets out. Like we have like a ding, like, what are you working on? What have you accomplished? Kind of a thing for like 2 minutes or something, like short and quick, just to like help us all get like on track. And you can put it privately or you can put it publicly, whatever. And then I want to have a place, this is my dream, where there's different like rooms. So you can go and like in one room, maybe there's music and it's like hardcore rap. And that's what you want to like, you know, like gangsta stuff is how you really get in the zone. And other room, it might be like classical, or maybe there's some place that has like a funny movie playing, or maybe there's a silent room, or maybe there's a room where people are just talking and they like to talk while they work and other people cannot, right? So like different like vibe areas that you can go to. And there's some tools. I've tried like so many from AppSumo that have these things. And I haven't found the right one yet. But that's so the community might end up being a place. I've tried a little bit with Discord. It's a little similar. Like you can have all the different voice channels where you can like be together and talk or mute or whatever. But I don't know. I haven't found the right place yet. But I think so. I don't know if you like the whole world has ADHD and or autism at this point for some reason. I don't know if you noticed that.
There's signs, touch of the tism. Touch of the tism is how they say, I think.
Yeah. So I always say they're a little spectrumy, but but basically, like to be able to have like body doubling. It's the dumbest name ever. I hate it. Sounds like a stunt double that's doing something for you. They're not doing something for you. They're sitting next to you while you do something. Have you heard of this?
Not. Are we talking in person or is this all virtual?
It doesn't matter. Either.
Okay.
Body doubling can be either. It's what I just said. It's like I need to finish this project, but I keep procrastinating it or whatever. Or maybe something different. It doesn't even have to be work related. Like I need to clean my kitchen. The dishes are stacked up and it's like, oh, I don't want to. And so I keep like finding other things to do, right? And then if somebody comes over and sits at your counter while you clean the whole kitchen, just talks to you, like you can do it. Or if you're doing something online and it's like something that's like you don't want to do, whatever it is, the part of your business that you don't enjoy doing, or it's a customer that you like are stressed out about, so you're avoiding it, whatever. Well, you get on like a co-working thing and you say, okay, I'm going to do this. And then somebody's there and they're just working on their stuff too. But for some reason, like you can do it.
Yeah. Just like an accountability.
So dumb.
Yeah.
I hate the name of it. I hate that it works for me. It's like, I hate it. It's so dumb, but it does work. So if you can have like, that's sort of co-working to me though. Like you don't have to call it that, but like if you've got somebody that's there and you're all working, I don't know why. I don't get as distracted. I don't get up and go wander, I don't go feed the cats and I don't go go check my mail or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, cause you're like, oh no, we're in it together. We're doing this. I don't know why it works, but that's another thing I want to include in my community is a space that we can like be together doing things.
Need some virtual reality stuff going on there almost. That'd be sick.
Fun.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Discord. I feel like that's probably the closest thing that I could think of because of those voice channels with the music and stuff like that. But
trouble is, I'm not a gamer. And so I always feel like a fraud in Discord.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it works and I don't know all the things. I tried it. We actually have, there's a FocusWP Discord. And it has like a co-working voice channel and text channel. And one of my team members, Sana, she'll occasionally get on a kick and she'll go and post in the group, hey, I'm in the Discord if anyone wants to come co-work. And then people don't see the message. And so I'll see it like the next day or so. I'll be like, still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think though, on a broader note, is like, I think your concept of that is kind of the next evolution of what those platforms are going to be like. Again, like a school, like a circle. Like right now, it's cool that it's like basically a curated feed of just the people that are all like you in the community and everything like that. I don't know if some of them maybe already have voice chats, but I do feel like at some point, if we continue down this road of everybody is interconnected, but they're not necessarily connected in person, obviously, at some point we're going to try to replicate. I mean, you already see it, obviously, with augmented reality, virtual reality, but something is going to happen here in the next 5-10 years where, unless AI completely destroys that whole concept, we're going to be like seeking more human connection, even if we can't have it in person.
I don't see how AI could destroy it. I almost think AI, as it surges, is going to make us want more human connection.
I would tend to agree. Yeah, I can't tell the future, but I think that's a good sign. And I think,
by the way, I have a little game where every time one of my, like, the podcasts of the people that I know, like every time we talk about AI, we have to do a shot.
Okay.
And you just get hammered on every podcast.
I've never drank alcohol, but I'll chug
that's
this
right.
water.
I forgot. Yeah, do a shot of water. Yeah,
that's a good game though. Yeah, you definitely get pretty fucked up pretty fast. I feel like in today's climate.
Today's climate.
But yeah, I think. How
long?
I don't know.
How long do you think of a podcast we could make that people would actually listen to?
I mean, I think we're pretty entertaining.
We've been talking for 2 hours. Yeah,
I know. I think we talked. I think we talked about a lot of different things. 100%. I think there's. I don't know. I mean, to kind of like, I guess, wrap a little bit. I mean,
yeah. How do we end it?
I think it's great. Yeah, I think. I want
to. I feel kind of pumped up. You know, like I got some ideas. I got some stuff.
Yeah. Now we got to go like build more random businesses and ADHD it up on our focuses, I guess, and just completely out of focus. WP.
So ironic that I named my business that.
Yeah. Also, I want to give you a shout out. I'm not sure if it's still like that. I haven't been to the website in a while. That was some of the coolest, wildest branding ever with the focus. The focus, is it still like that?
Yeah, it's in 3D. See, look,
that's so sick.
The blur thing here, if you can see it.
Yeah.
I have my logo here. It's 3D glasses. So I did the website in 3D images, and I have taken so much heat from that, from all the accessibility people.
Yeah.
How do you know? Okay, here's a question. How do you know if someone is, how do you ask someone if they are vegan, do CrossFit, or are interested in accessibility? You don't have to, they'll just tell you.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, accessibility people hate it. Hate it. People couldn't see it clearly. I'm like, I feel like it's more equal opportunity. Because even if you don't have vision problems, it's so blurry.
That's true. I feel like I have vision problems now. Yeah, I feel like I'm a member of the community.
Yeah.
But I mean, I always like, when I saw it, I was like, am I going crazy? Also, and then you realize like it's pretty.
Also,
it's pretty
just
cool.
for fun on the site, which I don't know, I don't even really want to promote this, but if you sign up for the newsletter, like in the generic like sign up thing, like I will literally mail you 3D glasses so you can look at the site in 3D. I think I gave you some at the conference. You probably threw it away with all your other swag crap.
I think I have Marauders.
Yeah, I literally mail people 3D glasses to look at my website.
That is.
I think it's fun, but
I think it's pretty cool.
It's not for everyone, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can't please everyone. I think that's a good place too. All the stuff we were talking about, some people are going to be like, you guys suck. You guys, there's no way that you know nothing and whatever. And it's like, you just got to be okay with that. If you're going to turn a camera on and you're going to talk to the internet in any stretch of the imagination, like you are going to have people that no matter what you say, you could say like the sky is blue, and you'll have people that just hate you for no reason and
they
and
won't.
whatever.
It's not even that they'll say like, no, it's not. They'll be like, what kind of idiot would say something like that? That's offensive.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta develop some tough skin. I haven't had too much shit, but yeah, exactly. I haven't had too much shit, but the point is, again, like broader, like I know there's a lot of areas of of disagreement, like in life and different things. But even in something as simple as like, hey, I'm trying to tell you how to build a website. Like, not everyone is going to be on the same page, and you just got to be like, hey, I probably disagree with you in some respects, and that's totally fine. Like, we're agree to disagree type thing. And you know, I've just, like I said, I've had to deal with that, but it is.
I'll tell you a little criticism I do have is that, but you're already past it. When you have a name that is sorely lacking in vowels, you should really not make it a name that people have to type. Like, don't make that your business name.
Mine? Like,
it's too hard. Yeah, but it's Sizzy.
There is only, sometimes Y. Yeah, I guess there's sometimes only two, maybe three. Maybe three things.
Two-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, your name's hard to spell. Don't make that something people have to type. But you're past it now, because you have Fueled by
Progress. That's what you're on. That's where we're at right here.
So good. I love that name.
I appreciate that.
Everybody can spell it.
Well, again, I mean, naming things is hard. Branding things is hard. I mean, the other thing that
I would love to get rid of the WP in my name, because we do more than WordPress now.
I was actually going to say that, and I forgot to ask you that question. Yeah, so it's like if
we
you're
do
doing
Shopify,
more than that,
we do all kind of other things, and it's really hard to find another name. Plus, I like my 3D thing, and I like the word focus, but there are no domains available for any 2-word phrases using the word focus at a .com. Like, it is so hard to find anything. Yeah. Which is frustrating.
I feel that. Yeah, I just rebranded my agency because it's the stupidest name ever. It was fine. Yeah, it was Find It Tech before. I don't know what I was thinking when I was like 22
Sounds like an IT
or
company.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But I never did that. I didn't start like by fixing printers or any shit, so I don't know why I did that. But yeah, so that was silly. But Motive 11 is better.
Turn it off and back on again before you call us.
Honestly, I still tell people to do that regardless. But yeah, so yeah, it's tough. I'll try.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I'll take that criticism though. I'll take that criticism to heart and consider changing my name.
Here's another. I'm gonna have to talk to my wife. Don't change your name. Just don't make it your business name.
Well, it's not my business name, but the thing is, like, everyone you had, like, and their mother.
Go to the something Szymanski podcast, whatever that was. You had the MJS, but that was fine. But the other one, what was the other one? It had your name in it, and I'm like, I would never be able to find it because I don't know how to spell it.
Yeah, definitely not ideal.
Anyway,
but you got to use your name and stuff because everybody's a personal brand now. So it's like either you make up a pseudonym, or you just use whatever you got. So I don't know.
What did we learn today?
We learned more about FocusWP. We learned that you should have a continuity plan, and you should check out the disaster prep course that you're putting together.
How do you feel about the name Agency Safety Net?
It works. I'm trying to think of it if it gives me any other vibes that like are off. Like, does it have to be agency? I guess that's probably.
Doesn't.
Can it be any business, or is it going to be very specific to like?
Well, because of my big idea brain, I'm forcing myself to keep it very focused and very narrow to begin with. So it's really going to target freelancers, solopreneurs, small agencies. Like if it's like 1 or 2 people or like one person and a bunch of contractors or something, like that kind of a setup where it's not like a full-time team in-house. That's my main focus to start with, because those are the people that are the most at risk. Because if something goes down, too much is just in their head. And so there's no plan or system in place to help them. But then you go from there, and it's like for bigger agencies, okay, well, yeah, they have the team there, but how does anybody know what to do? Like who's in charge then or whatever. So there's more to come on those kind of things. And then even I was talking to a friend who has a 5 or 7, something like that person thing. And he's like, could you come audit us and see how and I'm like, I never even thought of that. Like, that's a great idea, right? To go and like make sure the system's like checking your backups, right? Like make sure, so probably what I would do is go kidnap the principal and see how things went. Like have cameras in there, see what they did,
You can make that into a TV show too.
It'll be fun.
And you got a lot of sources of revenue here. Entertainment, education, service.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, so there's lots of different things that can come from that. And then also as a part of my community, like I'm going to have a service that is if you don't have a person in your life that you can deputize, which a lot of people just don't have those connections yet, or they don't want to, then we have a service where it's not going to be expensive either. It's going to be like $30 a month or something. We'll have your back if something happens. And so that's like, so there's that element. But then if I have a community in place where people could also meet and make connections, maybe that's a side quest on my Tinder app for web developers, They could also connect as emergency friends.
I think that's important. I was going to say that because not everyone has enough friends or like close enough friends in order to have their person. You might need to, again, either make a service for them or provide friendships. You can be like a super connector of people that are watching people's sites and if things go down and stuff like that.
Like a matchmaker.
And if people get hit by buses. Yeah. I like it.
Buses and lightning, man.
Oh, yeah. Never know when they're coming. Damn.
Hey, let's do this again sometime.
Absolutely. This has been fantastic, Stephanie. Thank you so much. I'll have all the links and everything like that, obviously down in the show notes description, but anywhere you want to send people.
A page on my website. What should it be? FocusWP.co. That's the other thing I hate is I have a CO. FocusWP.co/Szymanski.
Oh, that's probably too damn hard.
Just kidding.
You could probably do like, I don't know. I mean, this is technically Fueled by Progress now, so
Let's
you can
do
either do that or MJS or whatever. I don't know.
Fueled by Progress. It's such a good name. And then
love it.
Go there and there will be more information about all these things I've talked about. And if you're interested in having help getting a continuity plan in place, the educational stuff is free. So, and then just for the fun of it, why don't I throw a little coupon code out there for FocusWP?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In the description.
I'll put it on that page. Give us a try. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back.
Oh yeah. What a nice lady. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I try. Thanks, pal.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate you coming by. Great chat. We'll do it again.